Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're here on this Saturday morning again. Always a wonderful day. Yeah, it's Saturday. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. All right, all right. It's Dr. Joe Blake here, the One Point Podcast, where we help you get your financial point across. Welcome to the day. The second part of the intangible assets. Those things you can't hold, but it's here. All right. Welcome, 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 welcome. We got some great information for you today. And I tell you, it's going to help you continue to grow your wealth. As I mentioned, this is the economy of being who you are, what you are inside yourself, and how you can get things growing for your future. Got my son here. Let me bring my boy on. Last week was my baby girl. It's the major. Now I got the master degree folk here as well. Son, are you there, son? Okay, all right. Sound like this. Your volume is not there, son. Are you there? I think you got to jump on mute.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just saying I'm glad to be here. It's a beautiful day.
All right, all right. So your little sister was here last week. She kind of started us off with the intangible assets. Well, how's the family and everything doing, son?
Family's doing well. Just got done with the month of July. We had a whole bunch of birthdays, and it's gonna be Shavana's birthday this month. So
yeah, she was 34, man.
Yeah, she getting up there.
Yeah, y'all getting up there. I'm like, y'all getting older. I'm getting better. That's good. It's good. So this month, everybody started school, huh?
Yeah, and my wife wanted me to share with everyone that we just got done celebrating our anniversary too in the month of July. Yeah, this is the first day of first week of school. The kids are excited about being in school, and it's been a long summer, so it's been a long time coming.
Cool. How many years has it been now, son?
Since what?
Your wedding anniversary.
Oh, 2 years. Been 2 years now.
Woo-wee! 2 is through. Happy anniversary, Amy.
Thank you.
She said thank you.
I heard it. You're welcome. All right. Thank you for hanging in there with my son.
No problem.
All right. Okay. So let's got that all through. So we're going to start now with the intangible assets, part 2, and here we go. All right. So part 2, intangible assets. We're going to start out first with here we go. Fostering creative innovation. So we are most effective when we lead with our gifts, right? So, and the word 2 Timothy 1:6 says, "Therefore I remind you to stir up the gift of God which is in you." So you got to stir up the gift of God that is in you, knowing that what's in you, God put in you. You got to stir up that gift. And when you stir up that gift, you got to stir it up. You got to stir it up because God gave you those gifts, and it makes you better at who you are, and it helps you become better at what you do. So you stir up the gift. You encouraging questions, exploration, and encourage your creative thinking. So, what are some ways, son, that you encourage yourself to explore and enhance your creative thinking?
Repeat the question one more time. I'm sorry.
Your exploration of your creative thinking. What are some things you do to, make yourself think more or create more thinking, or your creative thoughts? How do you get your creative thoughts?
Just I have a very vivid imagination. Just think about the possibilities, and I thank the Lord for blessing me with that imagination. Like I just always being optimistic, seeing the best, even when things may not seem the best, is just making the best out of any situation. So a lot of times, I guess my creativity is what would say motivated or inspired by maybe temporary setbacks or situations. So something instead of looking at things of how they are, I look at things of how they could be.
Okay.
And that's even I can relate to that even from like a real estate perspective. I invest in a lot of distressed property, and a lot of people just walk by property every day and might not think nothing of it. But I'll look at that same property and I'm thinking about the possibilities of what could be done with it if with the right investment.
Okay. So you see the good. Somebody can look at it like the woods and they see number of woods, but you can look at the woods and see, homes, tree, boats, and all that good stuff. When you see woods, that's good.
Right.
That's good. And so the other side of it is that you provide opportunities to try to see new ideas without seeing the fear of failure. Because that's the other thing. People see it as like, oh man, that's the jungle.
Mhm. Yeah.
So so you look at providing opportunities to try new ideas,
Mhm.
or instead of looking at fear of failure. And then Second Timothy 2:1 and verse 7, it says, God has not given us a fear of failure, but one of power of love and of a sound mind. So right after 6, it goes 7. So you're not looking at things as a fear of failure. You're looking at them with the power of mind and what you can produce, what you can make better, and when you see things. So
Mhm.
when you're looking at what you can do with it, I mean, how does that make you feel? How does that come about when you make it look better?
Makes me feel good. It makes me feel empowered. Like just knowing that I have the capability of making something um, and more, even making something more livable or making something more appealing to the eye. Bringing, I look at it. It's hard to talk without speaking in like business terminology, but I'm thinking about. I look at a ran down property, and I look at it's a product in its raw state, and it needs to be brought to the market. And so, how can I get, position myself to do that? And I don't just do that with real estate. I also do that with like website design, which I'm kind of getting back into, especially with all these changes in AI. I get real excited about all the different changes in AI and just how easy it is to build a website nowadays and make it to your liking, or you can make it at the same level as senior developers. But a lot of people aren't taking advantage of this opportunity right now. So those are just some of the things that I get excited about.
That's good. That's good because a website. If you're not working on a job, um, I mean, it's just. I mean, well, not necessarily working a job, but if you don't have a physical storefront, that website is your storefront, right?
Mhm.
So
Right.
how do you envision sometimes when you're working with a client their storefront?
I mean, I always start with having a conversation with them because I got to understand who they are as a person, uh, what their business is, how they want to, uh, um, how they want to be positioned in the market, so to speak, and then from there, I might come up with a few concepts that match their brand or speak to the brand, and then I ultimately give them this decision as to which direction they want to go, and then I make out the design. They say they like the design, and then I move to the next step of actually building that site.
Okay, so that's good. So you had an interactive conversation with the client to
Mm.
see you take the vision that they speak to you with, and then you visualize it so they can see it. That's
Right.
good.
Mhm.
Okay, that is absolutely well. All right, so uh, environment creation. So you had the creation of the um, build a culture that values diverse perspectives and collaboration. So culture. So culture is at those are the core principles, ideals, and beliefs that a community kind of holds together, and that makes it important and desirable. So these cultures are often passed down through generations, through group behavior, their attitudes, and it influence what people consider good, right, and just within the culture. So those values they shape the individual's uh, thoughts, interactions, and the way they make decisions. So how do you factor in those cultures within that creation? 'Cause you're African American,
Mhm.
so your culture is different than some of the other cultures when you're setting up their programs.
Right. Um, at the end of the day, a lot of people just want a good site. They want a good website that puts their brand in the best light, and it's functional. And there's a scarce pool of people that have the actual talent and skill set to make that into a reality. So a lot of times, as long as you got the skills to get the job done, it's like that's kind of a mute point. There's a lot of African Americans in the tech space nowadays, but it comes more to talking to that client, building that rapport, and then I build a prototype first. So I might have that conversation. I show them a few designs. Um, I get a nice feel for it, and then I deliver a prototype. And then if they like the prototype, then we move forward from there.
Okay.
But I mean, business is business. It's America, so
It is. It is.
yeah.
And I can relate to that myself because being African American, I have clients that are from different backgrounds. I have clients that are from Russia. I have clients that are from Croatia. I have clients that are from Mexico. I have clients that are from parts of Africa. But the common thread there is they want financial independence. They want to have the assets so they can send their children to college, they can send their children to different trade schools. But the common thread there is understanding money.
Mhm.
And so when you have that common theme of in their culture, when they reach financial success, that's the common thing. And you got to be able to speak that language to those folks so they can get to where they need to be. Right?
Mhm. Right.
Yeah. That's important. So you look at the quality of the relationships, the nurturing of the relationships, and the quantity of relationships. What do you think about the quality? Because the quality is so you're happy to help and request, but keep in mind that when you're trained to market and business, the task is not really your expertise. It's the relationship really that makes the
Mhm.
difference. The relationship and the characteristics that help are common. You got to have a connection. You have to have a mutual respect, and your communication has to be open and honest. So, how do you feel your connections are, your respect, and your communication is honest?
Um, I mean, you never leave them in the dark. You always let them know, the status of the site as you're building it. What changes you're making. What changes you're not making, and every client is different. It might be a short-term project, it might be a long-term project. So they might refer you for another job. So you always want to be kind, you always want to be respectful. You always want to maintain those good relationships because you never know what direction that may take.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what I find the most part is when you sit down with clients, they understand that you understand this interrelationship that you have. You're there for them to help them get to where they go. Because when you're helping them, you're helping you at the same time. And then there's a mutual respect. They're a family, you're a family, and it's a family thing that you're helping to get to where they need to go. And then that is open and honest. Yeah, I can't do that right now, but I can do it a little later. That's fine. When you can do. This is what has to be done. But if we need to do it later, that's fine as well. But you have that open communication with them. I need this website. Okay, it's going to take this to do their website. Okay, that's kind of outside of our range for now.
Mm-hmm.
But we can do this later on down the road. So as long as you keep things open that way, it makes a big difference. When I say right now, it may not be in their budget, but later on down the road, it could be within a certain range so they can take care of it at that point. So that's good. All right. So then there's inner cultivation versus auto success. So in that, inner cultivation focuses on the personal growth, self-mastery, and developing your character. Auto success means the manifestation of tangible aspects, recognition, external validation, and things of that nature. So the some of the inner cultivation, that's personal growth. So when you're developing your personal growth, you're developing your ways for your career. What are some things you develop inner personal growth slides, huh?
Well, this might seem like a colloquial phrase, kind of trite, but I say if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is gonna believe in you either. So you got to believe in who you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. Because a lot of times it's that inner confidence that's going to project. People pick up on that confidence. So whether you got it or not, some people like to fake it till you make it, but I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm saying just be honest with yourself. Do a self-assessment of your skills, your talent, your ability, your competency, and it's going to project. Even whether you're new in the field or you've been doing it for years, having that confidence that you can get the job done is really what's going to separate you from the pack.
Yeah, because people can smell it out, can't they?
They can.
They can smell it out. What? You don't know what to do. They can smell it out. What about enhanced relationships? Stronger, more authentic relationships lead to increased collaboration, networking opportunities, and career progression. What about the relationships?
Just be. Some people have this more natural than others, but just genuinely be, concerned about other people and what are they working. Be curious about what they're working on, what they're trying to get accomplished. Get to know them on a personal level as well. Keep it professional, of course, but have that balance. You don't want to be over professional, over business, because sometimes that comes across as unauthentic. A lot of people like to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So, if you're, sometimes if you come across as too business-like, it's kind of like a stranger. You're not a real person. They want that authentic mom and pop feel a little bit. And it's just easier just to be yourself. Just be yourself. And people, like you said, people can smell when you're not being real. They can smell when you're, not being yourself. And by naturally just being yourself, the people that you want to do business with, people that want to do business with you, they're naturally gonna come.
Right. Because sometimes the networking opportunities, I agree with that one right there, because who is not who you know, but someone that can know other people. And that's like next on the 15th of this month, We're going to have an article that's going to be published in iNetpreneur magazine, and it's about um, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And that article is also going to highlight this podcast here, and because it's a networking opportunity, because we partnership with other business owners and other small companies as well, in exploring what business owners come into. So that magazine is going to be coming out shortly, and we'll be able to share it with those that are listening and gain more insights about what it means. And so I like the networking opportunities and what it has to provide for us, and that's a good thing. Now let's look into some career success. So there's cultivation that results in direct impact and success and satisfaction. So how does that work for you?
I mean, it's just you'll have this aura about you when you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing. That it just comes out your pores and your being, like and it just goes into your work ethic. When you build a site or you do something for a client, it's a representation of you. So you want to do the best job that you can. So you'll get those referrals when people see what you're capable of and what you've done and the time and care that you take into it. So that all corresponds to impacting your career and just making you a better success.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Job satisfaction. What you're doing when you do a good job, you feel good about it. You feel better about it. So those are the three inner cultivations on your outer success. What you do on the inside, what you do within yourself, shows on the outside itself. And so this last quote here says, "Cultivating your inner world is essential for personal and professional growth." So you gotta embrace the inner journey of your self-discovery, mindfulness to unlock your true potential, achieve lasting success. You gotta feel who you are inside, who you are inside, and then that comes out on the outside as well. So that was what we had for today as far as the intangible assets of cultivating your inner world, because the work starts on the inside. If you can't work on the inside, it comes out on the outside as well. All right. Okay, son, I'm going to put you in the background so I can finish everything up, and then we'll I'll chat with you in a little bit. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Hang tight, son. All right. So here we go. Just going to finish up here. Hey, this is our podcast here. You can join in and be a partner with us and be able to join in, and we'll be able to have you can become a partnership with the podcast here. We'll be able to provide more insight, more information on a monthly basis that helps us keep things running, and be able to provide more information for you to help come along. Also, have the second volume of my trilogy series. This is Joseph Building Financial Legacy. First one is Building Financial Literacy. Literacy lasts a lifetime. Legacy lasts for generations. By the end of this year, the third volume will be out, and that's Joseph Building Financial Legend. So those three books is a trilogy that God gave me to write about finances. So that's going to be available. This one you can scan the QR code and order that particular volume. Lastly, this QR code you can download and get the money, actionable money app. That coincides with all three books. As my 5 memory models that deals with finance, and that's something that God developed, gave me to develop, and it helps you walk through the 5 memory models that keeps you understanding 4 windows of success. Talks about the vehicles and shelters that relates to money, and a few more as well. But they download that, and that keeps you connected to all three of the books as well. So all things are great. God has given me this to me to share with everyone, and it's a wonderful thing. So I hope you gain more insight into what we have to share. The economy of being is a richer life is this year's theme. So this being, next year we'll be doing. and the following year is having. So this is a 3-year journey that we're taking to help us all get within a better position financially. So with that, this has been Dr. Joe Blake with the One Point Podcast. I hope you have learned some great information for today's podcast. Next week, we're going to have a guest that'll be on talking about grief and dealing with if you lose a partner, how to gain from it. Her name is Miss Cat, but you'll get the invite for that as well. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope everything goes well with you for this week. And again, I hope you learned some good stuff from us today. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again next week. Same bad channel, same bad time.